Drivin Ivan here, and it's fitting that it's actually sprinkling right now because behind me is a rally legend made for bad weather, made for snow, made for mud, and it is indeed a legend. I used to drive a car like this one in the Sega Rally video game longer ago than I'd like to actually own up to. But this one behind me, very special. A Lancia Delta Integrale 8-valve. What makes it special? Well, it's of course its rally history and the fact that it's just an icon among rally cars and car enthusiasts. And the best part about it, it's mine. So, what will meeting my hero be like? In this case, a very, very, very well-loved hero that I've been yearning for decades. Let's find out. Well, in terms of its shape, I absolutely love it. It's a hot hatch with flared fenders, and the best part is that it blends in. If you don't know what it is, it might look like any other Econo box out there. Maybe a Volkswagen Golf. A lot of people think that's what it is. People either don't notice it or they run from all the way across a parking lot just to get a closer look of it. It's that kind of car. And to me, that's one of the coolest things about it. The Lancia emblem, the HF integral. HF stands for Hi-Fi Integrale, complete. I think maybe all-wheel drive in this case. But it's certainly, I think, subtle. And to me, that's just the icing on the cake. Yes, it's understated, but it's also an extremely rare white whale for those that know about its lore and know what it is and know how scarce it is here in America. Awesome. Inside, you also might confuse it for an 80s Volkswagen Golf. They had that Madras interior, and Lancia has this very 80s, but yet oh so cool Recaro seated interior with the large bolsters and the cool pattern, simple steering wheel, stitched, yes, with red stitching, very cool, and then the simple 80s gauges all around you. Right square in the center is the boost gauge. Underneath that, you have the voltmeter, your fuel gauge, and also your temperature gauge. On the left, the speedometer in kilometers, and of course on the right, the tachometer. You also get a bevy of warning lights to let you know if there's any potential problems, and that's a good thing. More warning lights here on the center of the dash, and then you have your oil pressure and temperature underneath it. So definitely a car that's meant for business and meant to inform you about what's going on mechanically at all times. There's a real handbrake and power windows for the front, but not the back. You'll have to roll those up and down yourself. A 5-speed manual gearbox, and some interesting knobs here to control your ventilation system, and then other buttons here above for your lights, defrost, and that sort of thing. So definitely 80s, but I think still a cool look, and fortunately an upgraded stereo system here so I can have my tunes on my jump drive. For an 80s 5-door hatch, of course it's based on the Delta. It's pretty practical. You have some storage here and a little tray here, and then a real glove box, which is nice, and then another tray here, plus down here a bit of storage, and of course a cigarette lighter too. And then right by the ignition here, another box for storage. The pedals are well laid out for heel and toe, and that's a good thing in this serious rally car. But overall, it's quite a comfortable interior, and certainly minimalistic, with nothing to get in your way and everything to inform you about what's going on with the car. And that's how it should be. Out and back, you get seating for up to 3 across, but really just 2. And look, the seats even fold down, giving you access to the trunk. Really cool. And of course, this being a hot hatch, you can pop open the hatch, and there is quite a usable trunk back here too. A nice bonus. This engine is similar to the Group B Delta S4 rally car. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder fuel-injected engine with a Garrett T3 turbocharger. It produces 185 horsepower at 5,300 RPM and 225 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM, and it's transversely mounted and mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. It's good for a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time, that's 62 miles per hour, of 6.6 seconds, and a top speed of 133 miles per hour. Well, this is the Lancia Delta Integrale. All-wheel drive, 2-liter turbo. It's the 8-valve version. This one's a 1988, and I had driven it once before I bought it, but it's mine now. And this road is not unlike a rally stage. So I'm playing Sega Rally right now. This is awesome. The car is a joy to drive. It's got all-wheel drive, so it's very confident in these twisties. But that being said, it lets you have fun. You can toss it around. It's lighter than the later Evos, Evo 1 and Evo 2, and it's very balanced. It's old school. This is, in my opinion, the hottest hot hatch. And you can get it loose. It's got that little bit of hesitation with the turbo before it kicks in. This turbo is actually bigger than the later ones, and it's lighter, so it's a great combination of basically old school mechanics and a little bit of lightweight fun. I had it on the gravel road because I actually picked it up at a house that had the gravel road, so man, it's fast and it's fun, and it's been a long time since I've had a Lancia. Wow, looks like I could get air there, just like the old Lancia rally cars of the past. But man, this is such a cool feeling, driving and owning a Lancia Delta Integrale. Never sold in America. And wow, this is definitely a bucket list experience. Wow. Whew. Feels like we're getting a little air there. This is just an incredible experience. Definitely adds up to the hype of all these decades of yearning for this car. So the thing about the Lancia Delta Integrale is that here I am just driving it on the highway, going to a car show, and it's just a car in many ways. It kind of blends in. It's a sleeper. It looks like a hatchback. It is a hatchback. Happens to be a hot hatch, but it is a 5-seater hatchback that offers a lot of utility and the ability to carry up to 5 people. And I think that's what's so appealing about the Lancia Delta Integrale. Just blends in. Unless you know what it is, you don't know what it is. And that's pretty cool, that type of car. You have to be in the know to know what this car is, know its history, know how important it is in the rally world, and know how really rare it is here in America. Now, what about values? Well, I actually saw one sell for $10,000. Well, it needed some engine work, but $10K for a troubled, maybe parts car, or perhaps something that needs a lot of work. But they're going in, I'd say, the high teens for the 8 valves here on up, really, to 30, 40, 50, 60,000, even more. I see someone asking about $65,000 for one right now. That's for a later Evo 2. So these cars, I think, are going up in value. I think people realize what they are and how rare they are here in America. And of course, the later ones, they are more valuable. But that being said, this one has the lightweight that people want in their sports sedan rally cars, and it's just as quick as the later cars as well. And that's pretty cool too. Now in terms of handling, the early cars here, the 8-valve is set to understeer a bit. There's all sorts of online forums that tell you exactly how you can tweak it to get it to really do anything you want. You can get it to be neutral. You can get it to actually exhibit oversteer more if you want to get it around turns that way. So it's all out there. Of course, you can do it with tire pressure, but there are many tricks to dialing in the handling and also the performance of these Lancia Delta Integrales. And this 8-valve is actually a bit harder to modify. You can get them up to 240 horsepower, I hear. This one is stock, I believe. It does have a K&N filter, but the later cars were easier to modify, but this one has some cool touches too, like the dual exhaust still. And again, it's the lightest, and that of course helps handling. Just like Lotus cars, check out my reviews of my Lotus Europa and also my Lotus Turbo Esprit elsewhere on YouTube. But of course, the lighter the car, the better it handles, the quicker it is, and the more economical it is too. But even in this light drizzle that I'm experiencing right now, the all-wheel drive grip of this Lancia Delta Integrale is just really cool. It's kind of a time machine in many ways. It takes you back to the 80s when cars really weren't all that great in terms of performance, and certainly all-wheel drive was kind of new. It was out there. Audi had, of course, had some success, but this car really cemented the fact that all-wheel drive was the way to go, and it's a legend, and the grip is legendary too. And it's one of those cars that just has the special mix of steering input, speed, and looks, and just cult status. I think that makes the Delta Integrale just so special. And yeah, it is that good. So fun to drive. Great feedback from the car, from the steering, everything. It's the complete package. Believe the hype. The interesting thing about driving this Lancia Delta Integrale in the wet, really what it was designed for with this all-wheel drive rally racing system, is that there's really no drama to it. It doesn't really get out of shape with really any conditions that I've experienced in it so far. There's no drama. It's just very predictable, very neutral, and very easy to control, and very intuitive if you know how to drive a sporting automobile like this one. This one started it all in 1987 with the first World Rally victory for Lancia, and they repeated 88, 89, 90, 91, and then in 92 they didn't even want to try anymore, so they sent a race team outfitted with Martini and sponsored by Martini, and guess what? They won too in 1992. So this car is just so cool. It's the car that I went to drive in Sega Rally back in the day. I never would choose the Celica. I always won the race here with the Lancia Delta Integrale, and man, I am just so happy to be driving this, so happy to own it. To me, it's definitely a bucket list car. I think it's definitely an automotive icon, and I think it's worth all the hype too. It offers everything you need. All-wheel drive and super sporty handling, a turbo, and it's just got it all. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out all my other car videos, Lancia videos, and of course, any car you like, just Google me, Drivin' Ivan, in that car, and check out all my documentaries, literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game, my music videos, disc golf videos. Check that game out. It's fun. And there you have it. I'm Drivin' Ivan.